What if I told you the oil your car's manual recommends, the very stuff you trust to keep your engine alive, isn't actually the best choice for its long-term health? What if it's a compromise, designed less for a 300,000-mile journey and more for a government fuel economy test? This isn't some wild conspiracy theory. It's an engineering trade-off backed by real-world engine teardowns. Today, we're finally settling the 0W20 versus 5W30 debate. We're going to look past the owner's manual and beyond the dealership's standard advice, right into the heart of the engine itself. Using teardown evidence and performance data, we'll show you which oil provides a tougher, more durable shield for your engine's moving parts, and which one might be letting them slowly grind away. The truth could save you from a catastrophic multi-thousand-dollar engine failure. So, let's get into it. Section 1. Decoding the numbers on the bottle. Before we get to the teardown bay, let's quickly break down what those numbers on the bottle actually mean. It's way simpler than it looks, but the difference between them is huge. When you see an oil labeled 0W20 or 5W30, you're looking at its viscosity, basically its thickness, at different temperatures. The first number, the one with the W, stands for winter. It tells you how well the oil flows when it's cold, like on a frosty morning. A 0W oil is thinner and gets moving faster in freezing weather than a 5W oil. This is a big deal because a huge portion of an engine's lifetime wear can happen in those first few moments after you turn the key, before the oil has had a chance to coat everything. The second number, the 20 or 30, is the oil's viscosity once the engine is fully warmed up around 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. So, a 20-weight oil is thinner when it's hot than a 30-weight oil. On paper, 0W20 seems like the perfect choice for quick starts and better gas mileage. But the real test, the one that decides if your engine lasts, is how these oils hold up under intense heat, pressure, and load, and that's where the debate really heats up. Section 2. The cold start advantage, where 0W20 shines. In one specific situation, 0W20 is the clear winner, the cold start. In freezing temperatures, its thinner nature lets it zip up to the top of the engine, to the camshafts, lifters, and valve train, a fraction of a second faster than a thicker 5W30. That may not sound like much, but when metal parts are essentially unprotected, every moment counts. Think about it. During that brief startup window, a faster flowing oil like 0W20 provides quicker lubrication, which means less friction and an easier start. That also gives you a small but real boost in fuel economy, especially on short trips where the engine doesn't even get a chance to warm up completely. If you live somewhere cold and most of your driving is short city commutes, 0W20 is doing exactly what it was made for, protecting your engine when it's most vulnerable and saving you a few bucks at the pump. But what happens when things get hot? What happens when you ask your engine to do more than just run to the grocery store? That's where our hero can start to show some cracks. Section 3, the high heat torture test, where thicker is better. This is where things get interesting. Independent lab tests and engine teardowns have shown that under heavy load, the thinner film of 0W20 can be a liability. When an engine is working hard, temperatures inside can spike, especially between the piston rings and cylinder walls. In these hidden hotspots, some 0W20 oils can begin to lose their film strength. When that protective barrier gets too thin, it shears, allowing for microscopic metal-on-metal contact that rapidly accelerates wear. Engine teardowns after long-term use have shown the difference this can make. with engines run on thinner oils sometimes showing visible scuffing on piston skirts, a clear sign of film breakdown. In contrast, a 5W30 oil can be up to 35 to 50% thicker at operating temperature, which gives it a stronger and more resilient oil film under that same intense heat and pressure. That tiny bit of extra thickness provides a more robust cushion, preventing metal-on-metal contact and significantly reducing wear on critical parts like bearings and pistons. That extra protection is what can make the difference between an engine that runs smoothly for a couple 100,000 miles and one that starts burning oil and losing compression way too soon. Section 4. The Hidden Truth. Why automakers recommend 0W20. So, if 5W30 often offers better protection under stress, why are car companies pushing 0W20 in almost every new car, even in big trucks and SUVs? The answer has less to do with your engine's long-term survival and more to do with government regulations. Automakers are under enormous pressure to meet strict fleet-wide fuel economy standards, often called CAFE, Corporate Average Fuel Economy. Failing to meet these targets results in massive fines. Using a thinner 0W20 oil reduces internal friction just enough to squeeze out an extra 1 to 2% in fuel economy during official testing. That might seem tiny, but when applied across millions of cars, it's a huge deal for the manufacturer's bottom line. The most telling sign is that the exact same engine can have different oil requirements in different countries. A Toyota or Honda engine sold in the US might mandate 0W20, while that same engine sold in Europe or Australia, where regulations or testing cycles are different, recommends a thicker 5W30. The engine is identical. The only thing that changes is the regulatory pressure. They recommend 0W20 not always because it's the absolute best for a 300,000-mile engine life, but because it's the best for passing a test. Section 5. The real-world verdict. Which oil should you use? So, after all that, which oil is right for you? It's not about one being good and the other bad. It's about picking the right tool for the job based on your car, your climate, and how you drive. Here's a simple guide to help you decide. You should probably stick with 0W20 if you live in a very cold climate where sub-zero starts are common. That excellent cold flow is a major benefit. Your driving is mostly short, low-stress trips around town. Your car is still under warranty, and you're concerned that using a different oil grade could cause issues with a potential claim. However, you should seriously consider using 5W30 if you live in a hot climate, where the engine is constantly dealing with high ambient temperatures. You frequently tow trailers, haul heavy loads, or drive in mountainous terrain, which creates extreme heat that can break down thinner oils. You have an aggressive driving style or spend a lot of time at high RPMs. You have a turbocharged engine. Turbos can spin at over 150,000 RPM and get incredibly hot. The oil is what keeps them alive. The stronger film of a 5W30 provides a critical safety margin. Your engine has over 100,000 miles. As engines wear, internal clearances can increase. A slightly thicker oil can help maintain strong oil pressure, reduce oil consumption, and quiet a noisy engine. For some drivers, especially those in areas with dramatic temperature swings, a seasonal approach can make sense, using 0W20 for the brutal winter and switching to a more protective 5W30 for the hot summer. Ultimately, the choice between 0W20 and 5W30 is a classic case of efficiency versus durability. 0W20 is the champion of fuel economy and cold starts, driven by regulations that prioritize every last drop of gas. 5W30 is the workhorse, offering a tougher, more resilient shield against the heat and pressure that slowly wear an engine down over its lifetime. While your owner's manual gives you the official recommendation, it doesn't always paint the full picture. The right oil is the one that actually matches your driving reality. Making a smart choice here might be one of the most important things you do for the long-term health of your car. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. What oil are you running in your car? Have you ever made the switch from 0W20 to 5W30 or the other way around? Let everyone know what you experienced in the comments below. Your story might be just the insight another driver needs to save their engine. And if this helped clear things up for you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more truths the auto industry doesn't always advertise.